It's the Christmas episode.
Yep.
I'm super pumped. Festive time of year.
Red Nose Reinbeer. They need to bring like wood shop back.
You know why you can't have it? It's because everybody's too busy cutting up.
Shiner Cheer.
Patrick Bond down here at the wood shop. How to read a tape measure.
Abita Christmas ale.
People on the internet have been really mean to me because of garage beers. Lazy Magnolia, their nut brown pecan, but it's their vanilla version.
This jacket gives me powers.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how, but I don't want to question it.
Yeah, just roll with it.
You're in there looking good. Looks like it's focused on you.
I'm waiting for you to float the drone in just like right here.
So loud. What was it? Hayes is like, when I got the drone, he goes, I don't know how, but just somehow incorporate this with garage beer. I was like, yeah, I think we'd have to like pour beer in somebody's mouth off of a roof or something.
It would be cool to open this window and it looked like we were shooting an episode and it like started at the driveway and then it just kind of comes through the window and like is peeping at us, you know, like and comes in and then like.
That would kind of dox us though. Everyone knows what the house looks like and you know, it could just come find us. It's Christmas time. You can tell by my festive, I was going for hot Santa.
It's working for me.
Yeah, gray hair.
Ho, ho.
Dude, you got like a nice winter dad fit.
Dude.
No socks?
No socks.
That's a power move.
Corduroy. Get out of town.
Rub your knees together.
You hear that? That's premium corduroy. Ain't sneaking up on nobody.
Let's talk about the sweater for a second. Where do you get this?
So this is a J. Crew. It's got some Mr. Roger vibes, like for sure, and like maybe a more dapper way.
Okay.
But also maybe not. Maybe it's just straight up Mr. Rogers, and I'm just trying to make it cooler than it is.
Maybe I'm wrong for assuming this, but I thought it would be you would have gotten that the same way you got the cooler, the ice chest, in like a roundabout way where like you were friends with an older gentleman and then he passed away.
And then his will.
This is the only thing you have to remember him by. Yeah. But this was actually makes way more sense.
This was actually in the cooler. So when I found the cooler, this was in there and it was like, fate, that's my size.
It was an old man working at a construction site who also valued comfort. Mm-hmm. And then you got it all in one. Okay.
Absolutely.
That tracks. But it's the Christmas episode.
Yep.
I'm super pumped, festive time of year. And we want to do this because there's a lot of Christmas-specific beers. I know we're not supposed to normally do time-sensitive things, but it's for Santa.
We're putting you behind the 8 ball, so that means we got to get this filmed, cut, and out before Christmas.
Time is money, money is cheer, cheer is Christmas. Something
like that. Yeah. But yeah, Christmas beers and like that's definitely a thing. Typically, they tend to be, I call them spiced beers, you know, so you get a lot of cinnamon, you know, you kind of get your like classic baking spices going in. But yeah, I think it's just something fun like breweries like to do and get them out. So let's go ahead and wet our whistle.
Let's do it.
So yeah, these are all Christmas beers. Not all Christmas beers are created equal. So I totally went in this blind. Basically was like, hey, if it has a Christmas label or says Christmas, I'm gonna pick it up. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna start with something it's definitely way different than the other things in the cooler here. This is Red Nose Reinbeer.
Oh, I love wordplay.
Urban South. We've done some Urban South beers. We did the Juvie Juice, you know. This is the New Orleans guys and girls down there. This is a fruited wheat. Cranberry, cinnamon, brown sugar. I believe it's 5.4 on the ABV. Yep, 5.4. So let's crack this open and start it out.
Oh, that smells like Christmas.
We're evolving. That was a
good, did you see that?
Yeah, it was good.
We didn't rehearse that. We didn't talk about it. We just know. It smells almost like marshmallows. Am I having a stroke or is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't get any marshmallows.
Do I need medical attention?
Man, what is going on? So I don't get a ton of cranberry, but I definitely get some like cinnamon and brown sugar kind of going on in there. Almost get like a pecan husk thing going on too.
That's what I was going to say.
I've been eating a lot of pecan pie, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it almost has like a pie crust. Maybe not pecan husk, but pie crust. Maybe that's like the
There's a sweetness.
cinnamon brown. It's got brown sugar in it. So
We made s'mores with the kids yesterday, so maybe that's why I was thinking marshmallow. But it smells like Christmas. It smells sweet.
it's a very interesting beer.
Well, first of all, who cares what's in it? Red Nose Reinbeer.
Yeah,
Urban
that's
South, geniuses, New Orleans, we love it. Juvie Juice.
that's a pretty legit name.
Whoever's in charge of marketing,
Keep it up.
is super hip. But yeah, it tastes like, so this is a fruited wheat. So what does a fruited wheat mean?
Yeah, so that means a portion, hopefully, preferably a larger portion of that grain bill is made with wheat. Wheat comes in various different varieties and forms. It's probably white wheat or red wheat. You can call that winter wheat. Wheat beers tend to have a little bit better mouthfeel. You kind of get that classic wheat beer flavor. You've had several wheat beers. It's kind of this through line you can kind of taste in all of them, where they're a little bit cloudy, or they tend to be a little bit cloudy because of the wheat, and it just kind of gives you like a nice fullness kind of going on.
Yeah, that's really nice. Mm-hmm. That's really nice. And then fruited, what makes it fruited? I guess I don't understand that part. Why is it different from most of regular wheat beer?
Yeah, so there's like fruit in it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Where does that go in the process? Come on, man. I'm trying to be curious. I'm trying to learn.
I'm sorry.
It's Christmas, Ben. Yeah.
Tell me about this fruited. What does that mean?
So not vegetables. Yeah. Okay.
So fruited cranberry. This says on the can here, cranberry puree. So there's two. Usually you can put fruit in at two different times in the brewing process. You can put it in pre-fermentation or during fermentation and let your brewer's yeast kind of eat up some of the sugar that's in the fruit. That tends to dampen the overall flavor of the fruit. It's still gonna be in there and still be prominent, but it's gonna be a little dampened. But you have less liability on once the beer is packaged if your yeast has kind of eaten some of that sugar. The other option is to put it post-fermentation and really get a big fruit kick out of it, but then have a higher sugar content in your packaged beer, which could potentially lead to problems later on if everything wasn't handled properly. You might get some re-fermentation in the can, which isn't good, and that's just causing more CO2 in the can. The CO2 can't go anywhere, so your can could pop. Explosion.
Sounds dangerous.
It can definitely be dangerous.
Also, it sounds really sad if you just made a shit ton of beer and then it all just exploded and no one got to drink it.
Yeah.
That would be a true shame.
Yep.
Has that ever happened to you?
Fortunately, it hasn't. I'm not saying we've never messed up something, but we've never had anything blowing up like that. Not only is it unfortunate you can't drink it, talk about a mess. Lord, if it's in your car, if it's in your house, if it's in your garage, yeah, you don't want to be cleaning up cranberry fruited wheat beer from everywhere.
No, get that shop vac, and then it's like a real strong Swiffer. That's at least like 6 Swiffer pads. So.
100%.
Yeah, Red Nose Reinbeer. I love the wordplay. Can Sopro do Let's Get Blitzin'?
Damn, you're hired. Yeah, no, next year for sure.
Yeah, a Christmas themed. I mean, not to add more to your plate, but I would be interested to see your take, because I've never had a beer like this. This is really unique and it's fun, and I'm standing by marshmallows. And maybe I need medical assistance, but I'm gonna keep an eye on you. I think what's fun is it smells sweet, and then it elicits like kind of Christmas memories.
No doubt.
So that's where maybe it's marshmallows, maybe it's
sugar plum fairies.
The swirly gumdrop. I went through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah, I like this beer. I get the cranberry a little bit. I definitely get some cinnamon and brown sugar. I think that this is like a really fun beer. Label's like cool, like you said, the name's cool. Sopro's like, I think we've done like a couple Christmas beers, but never like a spiced beer. It's always just a Christmas label beer.
Is that so? I guess the spice, the cinnamon, that's what makes it Christmas.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Christmas beers you're gonna see on the shelf, spice, pecans, brown sugar, baking stuff you would put in confectionist desserts around this time of year.
That makes sense. Well, I have another question. Brown sugar, how come you taste so good?
No doubt.
And what is beer? You know, if you really think about it.
Beer is like 4 main ingredients. It's like the elixir of the gods.
What is cranberry? Is it even a fruit or a vegetable?
That's where I draw the line. I don't mess with cranberry. I don't mess with cranberry at Thanksgiving. Obviously, like, I'm enjoying it in this beer, but
That's because of the marshmallow
that's overpowering it.
It cancels it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I love marshmallows.
It's science. Red-nosed Reinbeer, delicious. And you know, we're not just about drinking tons of beers here. We're about education, knowledge, improving yourself, drinking in moderation. It's not about just getting blitzened.
TM.
Which is why we have a garage tip with Patrick Bond. He's going to show us how to basically be more handy around the house. You can call him. He will gladly help you out with whatever project you have going on. But like if you need a table, you don't know how to use measuring tape, and he's like, hey, how wide is this? Is it width and then length, or length and then width, and you did not pay attention in geometry? I mean, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to come to the house, measure something for you, and build it? That's humiliating.
Yeah.
So this is a garage tip with Patrick Bond of Bond & Company Woodworks.
Hey, Patrick Bond down here at the wood shop. And we were talking last time Drew was here about garage tip, tape measure. Kind of important to every job, and not everybody knows how to read one. We were thinking might be a good idea, maybe just basics, how to read a tape measure. It's not complicated, but people make it because there's a lot of little marks on here. Lots of them. They all mean something. I made a little simple show and tell tape measure. 0, 1 inch. Right in the middle, half an inch. Half of that, 1/4 inch. Other way, 3/4 of an inch. Those are the 3 big ones. They're easy to remember. If somebody needs to measure how big is the table that needs to be in our house, we pull it out, 9 feet, 1/2 inch. 9 feet, 3/4 of an inch. And it's easy to think about sometimes for me when I think about it in terms of $1 and change. You know, the whole thing is $1. Half of it's 50 cents. Half of that's 25 cents, 1/4. Half of that's 3/4, 75 cents. And then when you start getting into the smaller numbers, it makes it a little more complicated, but it's not terrible. But half of 1/4 is 1/8. And 3 of those right in front of a half, 3/8. 5 of those, 5/8, 3/4, and then 7/8 right before the end. Just think about it in big numbers first, and then divide each one in half. And it gives you a simple how to read a tape measure. Easy enough. Yeah, on the 16ths down here is the small numbers. 1/2 of an 1/8 is a 16th, and then 1, 2, 3 16ths. 4 16ths would be 1/4, and then the 5 16ths, and then 3/8, and then 7 16ths is right before the 8 16ths, which is a half. We're trying not to think about all those 16ths so much, but the big numbers are the ones that are easy to remember and helpful to use. All right, so 0 on the tape measure is at the end. This little guy at the end hooks on the end of whatever you want to hook onto, and it moves a little bit, which it moves a little bit because that allows it to either pull or push against, and it makes up for the difference in the thickness of this little hook on the end. So it moves that much. But 0 up to a foot, 16, 24, 32, 40, 36, and then 48. So the red numbers are used in framing and houses and stuff. That's where studs go. So if you're trying to find a stud in your house to hang a picture on a wall, if you can find one, then every 16 inches where there's a red mark, there should be another stud to hang a picture. So you should be able to find them if they built your house correctly. There's a lot of different kinds of tape measures. This 16 footer, we use it here around the shop because most of the stuff we measure is less than 16 foot. They make a 25 foot tape measure, make a 50 foot, make a 100 foot. These two are antiques. And then this is also a 100 foot fiberglass tape measure for measuring big things outdoors. But just a basic 16 foot tape measure around your house is all you need most of the time. So a lot of times people ask me like, what size table would fit in my house? And I'm like, well, lay the tape measure on the floor and measure me out 8 feet to see if it's good. If 8 feet looks like it'll fit there, then that's great. If we need to go 9 feet, we can go more. But every foot has its mark that tells you it's the 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, and then it's the same as on the picture. The half would be 6 inches in the middle to be able to get you where you need to go. All right, so if I ask you for the dimensions of, say, a table, typically in our business, we refer to the width first, which is generally the shorter side. So like on a table, this is 42 inches wide by 8 feet long. So the shorter dimension is usually the width, and then the height, also the length. So if you're thinking about a door, necessarily 36 inches wide by 8 feet tall. So that would be 36 inches by 96 inches. So width and length. Length can also refer to the height. Very helpful for hanging pictures, very helpful for placing furniture. Also very helpful for figuring out if the sofa is gonna fit here, you know, pull out your tape, measure the space, figure out where it's gonna go, if it's gonna work here before you go buy the sofa or the table.
Measure twice, cut once. Is that something you've ever heard?
Yeah, we hear that all the time, and it's really true. And really for me, I'm terrible about remembering measurements. So for me, it's measure it, write it down, then go cut it, and then check it, make sure you got it right. But always measure twice. That's how you read a tape measure. Easy enough.
They need to bring like wood shop back.
You know why you can't have it? It's because everybody's too busy cutting up.
Ooh.
Science.
You are in your dad era right now. I'm liking it.
This jacket gives me powers.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how, but I don't want to question it.
Yeah, just roll with it. Alrighty. I know you've had this beer.
Yeah.
Shiner Cheer.
Yeah.
This is like a holiday classic right here. In fact, if you have not had a Shiner Cheer, hit pause, drive up to the store, buy a Shiner Cheer, and come drink and push play.
I know they have them at Corner Market, but they are in a lot of different places. Some of the more cultured gas stations as well.
5.4% ABV, just like our Urban South beer earlier. Do you know where Shiner is made at?
No, I have no idea.
Trick question. Shiner, Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they were up north.
No. So it's a Texas brewery.
Because I used to crush some Shiner Bock. That was one of those in the Road Dead Guy era.
No doubt.
That was a hip beer if you were like an alternate, like you played PlayStation and not Nintendo.
Yeah.
That was what you, if you were a Sega Genesis kid like me, everybody talking about Mario, I was like, nah, man, I like Sonic.
I got Sonic.
Sonic's catching all those rings. You playing, you plumbing and stuff. Dork.
I'm running.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Anyway.
Spinning. So.
Damn, that's good. I love this beer.
Shiner Cheer, 5.4% ABV. Shiner Cheer is technically a Dunkelweiss. So this is a...
That's a silly name.
It is kind of a silly name.
Dunkelweiss.
I never thought of it being funny until you just laughed at that, and I was like, he's about to roast me for saying Dunkelweiss.
What's funny is, you're around lots of brewers, you all respect the game. So I'm sure there's someone who said, oh, he said Dunkelweiss, but we can't laugh.
Yeah.
Because we got to be serious.
Face. So this also has peaches and pecan in it. That peach on this beer is like phenomenal. It's just enough. It's not sweet. I think the pecan kind of like balances it out. But yeah, so a Dunkelweiss is a maltier lager beer. This is a maltier lager beer, so it has some darker grains in it. Now, nowhere near the realm of a stout or a porter. Think more just like amber colored or browns and ambers, that kind of thing. So it has enough specialty malts or colored malts, crystal malts, depending on where you live.
Love that crystal.
Yep, that the color just changed a little bit, and that adds some nice flavor to this beer as well.
Yeah, the peach, man, it's like it tastes like a fruit cup when you were
smell
a kid.
that even through even that little hole in the bottle here. Like,
yeah,
man, so good. Just like funnels it up to your nose.
What's that? You want me to pour you out so you can breathe? No. Anyway,
I wouldn't be mad if this was in my stocking.
Right?
Yeah,
you got to be good to get this in your stocking. Yeah, Shiner Cheer. I think it was Becky Chandler introduced me to this. I was like, Christmas beer? What are you talking about? Yeah, since I had that in 2009 or 10, ever since, every Christmas I try and have at least one. because it's just that's what's fun too about Christmas. And I think it's a beautiful time of year, wherever your mindset is during the holidays. I like it because I tend to have lots of good memories from year over year, and so then I associate Shiner Cheer just with like good times, high fives, parties, Secret Santa, that kind of stuff. So that's what makes it so much fun.
Dirty Santa, Secret Santa. What's also cool is back in the day, everybody had kind of like moved away, and then at Christmas they all came back. So you get to like see a bunch of people you haven't seen, have beer with them, and just kind of enjoy it.
Go crush pizzas at Keg and Barrel late night.
No doubt.
High five D-Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I miss that guy. Anyway.
He's still alive and around.
Yeah, I should just text him.
Hey, brother, I miss you.
I miss you so much. Yeah.
I'm still alive.
Shouts out to
I just don't live here.
Yeah. He's an hour and a half away. He's gone.
Yeah.
so lazy. I'm so lazy. Anyway. All right, Shiner Cheer. Peaches and pecans. Like when we did coffee beers, we talked a lot about the different coffee beans and all the like how they're sourced and everything that goes into it. Are these beers simpler?
I would say so. Cinnamon is such a tricky thing to work with, though. Cinnamon in the first one. Anytime you're adding anything that isn't yeast, water, hops, and grain to your beer, it's going to be trickier because you're just introducing more complicated things into either the process or the end result, or you're trying to manipulate that extra ingredient to do something else, So maybe you're looking for flavor, maybe you're looking for aroma. You could easily ruin a whole batch of beer by leaving your cinnamon sticks in there too long and it getting like spicy or tannic. It's, it can be really easy to mess a lot of these, what I would call air quote specialty beers up. That have these special ingredients. So they're definitely, it's awesome to let your brewers like create things and, kind of scratch that creativity itch a little bit. But I mean, you really have to kind of do your homework when you're doing those kind of beers for sure. Because easy to mess up. So is it more or less complicated than the coffee beer? I'd say coffee beers are tricky. So I would say they are a little more complicated because coffee beans, whether they're ground or whole, can be finicky a little bit in how they react in the beer. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
What else we got?
So we haven't done an Abita beer on the show yet, and that's mainly because Abita is kind of like an overlord of craft beer. They're this big guy that's across the world and all that. Yeah.
Your lack of faith is disturbing.
And I wanted to do this one last because if I'm just being completely honest, this is the laziest of the three. Shouts out Abita for basically just doing a Christmas label on a hoppy brown ale. So nothing, no special fruit, no special spices, but they do have, in my opinion, the best label out of all three of these. They've got the alligators and the sled there.
You know what this label is?
What?
And I was telling Shay about this. This is the book my dad read every Christmas Eve was the Cajun Night Before Christmas.
Okay.
So it's Cajun Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
His cheeks were red because he drank that sherry. All the alligators, they're not Prancer and Dancer. They're Thibodeau, Boudreaux, and Clarence.
Uh-huh.
And my dad would read it in a coon-ass accent every year. So, but that's this same artwork.
Uh-huh.
It's from the Cajun Night Before Christmas.
Nice.
I recognize it. It's so cool.
Yep, very cool beer. Cool label at least. And beer's not bad. It's just it's not very Christmassy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It is a brown ale. I believe, so it's going to be a little bit darker than definitely the first beer, probably the second beer too. But it's got a nice little hop bite. It's got some piney hops on there. If I had to guess, probably some of those Chinook and Columbus, some of those classic C hops that we kind of talked about a little bit when we were going over our OG Granddaddy IPA episode.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So yeah, I mean, this is just like a maltier, darker version of some of those beers. It's not quite an IPA territory. It's like a little more balance in that, but I think it's like getting pretty close.
What would make it? Is it ingredients or process that makes it IPA?
Probably a little of both. I actually think this beer is dry hopped. So I mean, like it's a hoppy beer. I mean, it's got some nice bitterness on it, and it's got the aroma on it for sure. I would say the only reason I'm not calling this just a straight up IPA is because of the amount of specialty grain that's in there. So there's enough specialty grain in there where it not only turned the beer brown, but it's a little maltier, a little bit sweeter on there than what you would see from a classic IPA.
Yeah, not to brag, but I've been to England.
Okay.
And ale's there.
Yep.
That's an English thing. And they drink them at room temperature.
Yeah.
How do you feel about room temperature ales? Being an American, but also a brewmaster and like highly educated, what's your opinion on that?
Man, I think that is like for certain beer styles, the warmer the better almost. Now, I'm not saying you drink hot beer, but especially hoppy beers, I like my hoppy beers to warm up a little bit, kind of opens them up a little bit. For drinking like a lager, or a pilsner, ice cold. But yeah, some of these other things, I like to let them warm up a little bit. Back in our drinking days, I would love to, order a beer, have a couple sips, and I'll let it kind of sit there for a little bit and warm up.
Yeah.
You never did that.
No.
You like to drink fast.
Yeah, it's ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I could just drink liquids quickly.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're not, it's like some, yeah. And I had a great childhood. I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, no, I think we got out of something. It was like 4th grade or so. Miss McCarthy was my teacher, and she said if Drew can chug this Coke in less than 30 seconds or so, or 20 seconds or something, like a good bit of time, then you get extra recess. And so it was like, team needs me.
That's some responsibility on your shoulders.
Team needs me.
Yeah.
And I crushed it in like 3 seconds. So you just do the pelican, just open the gullet, got it, later. And then everybody's like, he's a legend. He can drink so fast. And then like when you're 9, you're like, anything. I'm going to grasp on anything. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Not as cool at 36.
I don't know. Still pretty cool.
It's the first thing.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, but the first thing someone says, they point at you and go, he can drink so fast. At 36, it makes work functions tough.
At the dinner table, depending on who's at the dinner table, maybe not as like cool. Couple dudes in the garage, someone's like, that guy drinks fast. It's like,
yeah,
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
and you see all this wood in here? I cut all this because I paid attention to garage tips.
With AI, it's only going to become more true. Context is everything.
No doubt.
So, yeah. Yeah, I love this Christmas ale, and I love the artwork. Reminds me truly of my childhood and all my family in Lafayette as well.
Shout out Wu-Tang Clan.
Shout out Wu-Tang Clan in Youngsville, Abbeville, and Lafayette.
Nice.
It's that time.
It's that time.
What's it time for?
I'm
Ben?
ordering this a button so it can be like, bam, 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 bam.
You can touch this big 3-liter cake stand tiramisu.
Oh, don't touch that. Someone's going to win that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get too familiar. Yeah.
Hey, you're getting a little too familiar with the merchandise here. All right, so we got us a
mystery beer.
Yeah.
I wanted to do Sierra Nevada Celebration as our mystery beer. Have you ever had this beer?
Yeah.
This was the last one at the store, so there wasn't enough for us to both have one. Mm-hmm. But I brought this today. This isn't the mystery beer. I've got another beer. But I brought this today because this is literally my favorite like holiday beer. And once again, there's not a bunch of spice in it and there's not fruit or anything like that. But this is such a like classic IPA from an era where I started drinking like beer, and I look forward to every Christmas getting Celebration Ale. Now it comes in a can. Such an awesome, delicious beer. What's cool about this beer is this is what they are dubbing a fresh hop beer. So hop harvest happens in the fall and kind of runs to the winter, and then all the hops have been harvested for the year and they start processing them. Well, there's a very small window during that time when you can get fresh hops before they're pelletized and processed, or even wet hops, which are straight off the vine and haven't even been dried. So this is a fresh hop. So basically they are going out handpicking their hops from somewhere on the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, rushing those back to the brewery over a couple weeks period, and then using those whole hop cones to make this beer every year. So Sierra Nevada uses actual whole hop cones for, to my best of my knowledge, all their like hoppy beers. The vast majority of the people, us included, use a pelletized version. So that hop cone has been processed into a pellet. Best way to like describe it is a box of 10-pound box of whole cone hops is the same footprint as a 44-pound bag of pellet tops. So it's for like shipping and storage, and it just kind of compresses it down. Other than that, it's there's no integrity lost with the hop or anything like that from a flavor standpoint. It's basically just like a different version, an upstream version of what that hop would be. But anyway, so they use just hop cones, and then this beer that comes out every year is a fresh hop. So it's extremely fresh, straight from the fields. And then I love the little slogan at the top. It says family owned, operated, and argued over. So I'm gonna just leave this right here. I wish we had two. Apparently everybody else already knows about this beer. It's not a secret because there's only one. I was literally like in the door, because I'm so tall, I can see in there really well. So I had opened it and I was standing in there and I was looking back, and this little guy, this like clerk, walked by the grocery store, and like I turned to him all crazy and I said, "Do you have any more of this?" And he was like, "I'm sorry, sir." And I said, "Look, I'm trying to shoot a podcast. Like, I don't know if you know me, like Ben Green Garage Beers." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Damn it. That didn't work." I said, "Can you go to the back and just check for me?" He said, "Let me take a picture." And I was like, "Can't you just remember like 2 words?" Whatever. Took a picture, came back like 20 minutes later. I had already like checked out and left, but apparently he didn't find any.
Don't you know me?
Ben Green Garage Beers, like, duh.
It's episode 5. We're shooting tonight, okay? It's a big deal. We've done 4 whole episodes.
This is our Christmas episode. How dare you jam me up in here right now?
So no Christmas miracle, but celebration's great, and I appreciate you not opening it, saving it for the zoom lens.
No doubt. The true mystery beer.
Mystery beer. Mystery beer. Mystery beer.
We haven't done anything from Lazy Magnolia. I wanted to give them a shout out. They're the OGs in Mississippi, bro.
Yeah.
Like down in the kiln. So this is their nut brown pecan, but it's their vanilla version. So they've added vanilla. This when this beer released, a lot of people were like really buzzing about it. So it was one of the first beers, their original pecan that they still make. That's kind of their namesake. That's what they make the most of, I'm assuming. It was one of the first beers to use real like roasted pecans. They were, roasting pecans and putting in there. So,
Man,
not a Christmas beer, but like with the vanilla and the pecan, I felt it like it kind of fit kind of what we were doing tonight. And we usually do something maybe a little wonky or a little wild for the mystery beer. We just kind of went did something classic tonight.
No, this is great call on the mystery beer. Well, because Christmas is kind of wonky, so it's like a wonky episode.
Yeah,
Willy wonky.
Damn, dad jokes.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. I've been training. I was corny when I was a kid. You think I'm gonna
drink fast?
And I drank Cokes fast, bro. Dude, you think I'm gonna be mid-30s and I'm just gonna be chill with the wordplay? All of a sudden, red-nosed reindeer?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, this is good. I like this. You're right though. The nut flavor and then the sweetness from the vanilla. It does feel holiday.
It does. And it's not overly sweet. This is something that someone's like, I don't want something like too sweet or too intense. This is just like a really nice light flavor. It's like pretty easy to drink.
Yeah.
I think it kind of rounds out the whole night pretty good.
Yeah, man. This is really good. I'm enjoying this. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do it. All right, write your scores down.
Okay.
for each of them, all 3 C's. I just really wanted to use this cool notebook that Shay got me.
All right, Indiana Jones.
I'm looking for treasures.
I mean, I wouldn't even want to write in that because then it's going to be gone.
I know, right?
Well, you better write important stuff in there.
So I'm going to write beer scores.
Grocery list and beer scores.
So we're right now, if people are going, what the hell are you doing writing things? We're taking advice from our viewer. We said last episode was the episode of feedback. Our friend of mine said, write down the scores, kind of like the Newlywed Game, to see how close our scores are without, because right now, you can say it's a 7.
We're feeding off each other.
Yeah, you could say it's a 7, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I also think it's a 7.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
You're cheating.
So
That's basically what this comes down to.
yeah. Reinbeer crushability, I would say, is... Okay, all right. Red Nose Reinbeer, what are your scores for crushability?
6.8.
I have 6. Complexity,
7.2.
I put 5. And consistency,
2.
I put 1.
Yeah.
Just because of the year or the season. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't want to be walking around with this in October. You're going to look a crazy person. You don't want to be walking around with this in January. You're going to look like you forgot what time it was. Mm-hmm. You know?
There's a lot of judgment, you're saying, that comes with it.
100%.
I would fuck with that, though, in June or July for half Christmas.
Ooh.
And Christmas in July.
July, we're doing a half Christmas episode. So go ahead and put that in your calendar.
Absolutely. Shiner Cheer, crushability.
8.
8. I actually also had 8.
Nice.
Hey, same.
Hey.
We
Same,
are
same.
we are the same. Same. Okay. Complexity.
I put an 8 too.
Okay, I went really low. I went 4.
Oh, wow.
I think,
Peach is so intense.
yeah, but it's just peach.
Okay, fair enough.
And I love Princess Peach, but it's not, I didn't think it was complex, really. And then consistency.
I put 3.
I went 2.7.
Okay. That's almost same.
I didn't use any decimals except for that one. I was pretty close to you on that one, actually. I was only 0.3 off.
Now we'll probably be better because I got lazy and stopped doing decimals after this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tight. Yeah, I didn't do any either. All right, so Abita Christmas Ale.
6.
That's your crushability is 6. I said 7 on the crushability. Just because of the Kunas, the Couillon.
It came
I
out.
wanted to go 10 crushability.
No
but-
doubt.
So I went, that's probably why I went a little bit higher. Complexity,
6.
I said 4. I stayed with the same as Shiner Chair. I don't think it's that complex, but I wonder if my score is lower because I'm aware of less than you are for complexity. You know, I think I'd be a pretty good judge.
Maybe I know too much.
Ooh.
So like I'm overcompensating. You know, I'm like picking out all these like nuances and I'm like, ooh, complexity.
Well, I'm not overcompensating. That's what I mean. You recognize more. So maybe that's why that score is higher. And then consistency.
I'll put a 5 on that one.
I put 2 just because it's Christmas. It's hard for me to rate higher than 3. Last episode, I rated our mystery beer way too high.
Yeah.
So
Well, so like this is like, it's basically a hoppy brown ale. So if you're covering the label, you can't tell it's a Christmas beer. So I can safely like drink this in front of other people and they're not judging me.
So you're very concerned with what others think of you.
Yeah, starting today. People on the internet have been really mean to me because of garage beers. I went to the store today, tried to get this. The clerk didn't even recognize me. I'm like very like aware of what people are saying.
All right, Lazy Magnolia Vanilla Pecan crushability.
6.
I said 3. It's very sweet for me. Complexity.
I put a 7.
I put 6. So pretty close. Okay, and then consistency.
5.
5. I put a 2. I could have gone higher, I think, but I think it was because the crushability was low. Consistency tends to be pretty low, but yeah, doesn't this look like the notebook Santa puts his naughty nice list in?
I don't know. That looks like something way cooler than that. I don't even know what it is.
I found this on a trip to Mordor.
Yeah, like something like that, or like that's what the Dead Sea Scrolls look like? I don't know. Something very cool.
Some kind of secret. Shouts out to Shay. She not ashamed to say my wife dresses me. Keep your eyes peeled for the giveaway. Cake stand tiramisu, 3 liter. You can't buy it. Winners only.
1 of 1.
1 of 1. Oh, that's a tattoo for a forehead if I've ever seen one.
We'll pay for it.
We want to thank everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, however you celebrate. Praisinu, whatever your deal is.
Happy Honda Days.
Honda Days. Ooh. And that's not to shit on
Toyota-thon.
people who love or love Hyundai.
Oh,
Hyundai sounds so close to Honda, but look, that's Korea and Japan. Those are different islands. Take a moment to educate yourself.
no doubt. Maybe ask Santa for a book.
Thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you. 2024 has been awesome. It's been a great start, but keep your eyes peeled because we're not slowing down.
2025.
Ben here is as hungry as ever. It's just going to be garage tips with little bits of beer.
Yes. We're actually thinking about changing the name of the show.
We just work in a labor camp.
Yes.
It's going to be really dark.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can't wait.
2025.
Ooh, man.
But we're going to look good.
Yeah.
Fit. Strong, calloused hands.
Yeah, and all you do is you use AI, and then you don't have to do any of the actual work.
Open up, FBI.
Think about